Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and the new Falcon and the Winter Soldier season that just wrapped. It's gone through episode 1 through 6, and it's reached a break point in the story, and there's a lot that's happened. And I want to talk about the narrative lessons that Dungeon Masters can carry away and use in their Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition game from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because I'll tell you right now, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is some of the most modern storytelling I've ever seen. I've really never seen anything like it. So let's dive in. And more than anything, I think, well, what I want to focus on in this video is with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there is a very powerful, very distinct description of how a high-level magic item is handled by heroes. Let's talk about it. And actually, you know what? I use that term heroes very loosely, only because traditionally Captain America has been considered a hero. But it's real. We're getting into some strange territory because it's really hard to tell who heroes are and who villains are in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. I think that really might be up to everybody's opinion, which again is incredibly modern storytelling. Like, you pick who the hero is, you pick who the villain is. And this show, it really just kind of serves up characters, and I think you could slot hero villain wherever you wanted, because there's a lot of really unusual things happening in the show, right? So let's talk this through. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier, season 1, episodes 1 through 6, is a powerful narrative map on how a high-level magic item is used in a Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition game. So let's talk about it. So what is the magic item in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Well, it's very clearly Captain America's shield. Captain America's shield in this is, without a doubt, exactly like a high-level magic item will function in your Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition game. Whoever gets this thing, like whoever gets Captain America's shield, they can stop literally every single weapon in the universe except for a number of weapons that you could count on one hand. Right, the Captain America's shield will stop bullets. It'll stop explosions. It'll stop. It can allow you to move around a battlefield in ways that you don't expect. It'll allow someone who uses it to hit multiple targets. It'll allow them to do subdual damage, but it'll also allow them to do incredibly lethal damage. Right, so it's a it's clearly a high level magic item, right? And the show really treats it that way. Now, what's really fascinating, and why I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier, especially after episode 6, has become every Dungeon Master content, is because of the questions it asks around high-level magic items. So let's dig into this. It's really quite fascinating. So first of all, I do think that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is every Dungeon Master content. Every Dungeon Master should see how narrative is crafted in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not because it's good, but because it asks the right questions, okay? It really, more than any show I've ever seen, it asks the right questions about magic items. Now, I will say this, I don't think the writers intended this at all. I don't think a lot of things that happen today, there's so much movement, there's so much acceleration, that things happen that I don't think the creators ever intended. I don't think Falcon and the Winter Soldier writers ever intended to write a narrative map on how high-level magic items should be used in 5th Edition campaigns, but that's exactly what it is. We wait to hear what these questions are. It's truly incredible. And to see how a high-level magic item flows from one hero to the next hero, all right, or one person to the next person. All right. So it's really quite fascinating. So basically, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you have Captain America's shield. Steve Rogers, at the end of Avengers Endgame, says, "Sam Wilson, you're the guy. You're Captain America. Here's the shield. Do it." Right? Sam Wilson says, "I'm not willing." He says a whole bunch of words, and when he's done talking, he is saying, "I'm not willing because I don't believe I'm capable and I don't believe I'm worthy." Okay? That's pretty incredible. Like, so That is the questions that come up that I think we really need as Dungeon Masters to be thinking about. When you introduce an incredibly powerful, high-level magic item in your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, who's willing to carry it, who's capable of carrying it, and who's worthy of carrying it? And here's another question is the worthy question useful anymore? Is it still useful anymore? Because, and this is the thing, I didn't really think about these questions until I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier asked this question again and again and again, all right? So, Steve Rogers, he's willing, he's capable, he's worthy of carrying the shield. Sam Wilson, I thought he was willing, capable, and worthy. I was wrong. Sam Wilson said, I'm not capable or worthy, okay? And he also said, I'm not willing, right? If you literally believe you're not worthy and you're not capable and you're stating that you're not willing, that kind of, like, I'm not, who am I to argue with you, right? Like, Sam Wilson is like, I'm not the person, right? And so he says, Captain America's shield, nope, done and done. I don't care about it. It can go sit on a shelf. Well, this is a high-level magic item. It ain't going to sit on a shelf, right? It's going to get used. And that's exactly what happens. David Walker walks in. At first, I thought David Walker was being presented by the show as a villain, right? But by the end of the show, David Walker is no longer a villain. He has saved many people's lives, including government officials, and he has stopped people who used violence to put forward their political ideas, and he's worked directly with the Winter Soldier to do this, right? So I was like, wow, I thought this was really projecting that David Walker would be a villain. He's not a villain at all in the show, right? So, and David Walker comes in, and he grabs Captain America's shield, and he is willing and capable. And here's the question. When David Walker comes in, he's like, I'm willing and capable of carrying Captain America's shield. I ain't got no reticence. I don't have any reluctance the way Sam Wilson says. I know I'm willing. I know I'm capable of carrying the shield, right? At no point, I think, does David Walker ever ask if he's worthy, right? But then that brings up the question of, if we are in a post-villain world, right, where it's just people, everybody has their own sides, and actually, that comes straight out of the show. I couldn't believe it. Captain America, okay, Sam Wilson, once he puts on the shield, once he picks up the shield and dons Captain America he says, listen, and then he talks about the Flag Smashers, right? And he's like, hey, the people that the Flag Smashers are allied with, absolutely, they use violence to get their political, so he goes into this big speech, and he talks about the Flag Smashers and their allies, and he tells world leaders, he says, listen, you want to put these labels on them of thugs and terrorists just because they use violence to get their political goals accomplished? That's not right. I was like, whoa, that's a pretty bold statement from Captain America. That's incredible, right? But so once you're in there, this show really posits the question, if somebody's willing and capable, does it matter if they're worthy? And I was like, wow, that's an incredibly deep question to be coming from a Disney Plus show, right? So I think as Dungeon Masters, there is no better view of how a magic item, a high-level magic item, is passed from one capable adventurer to another capable adventurer. I think that's a good way to look at it. One capable adventurer to another capable adventurer. Because I'll tell you, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is well past the labels of villain and hero. When you look at that show, it is incredibly difficult to tell who you would possibly call a hero and who you would possibly call a villain, right? And the reason why is like Sam Wilson. It would seem obvious that he's a hero, right? But his reticence, his unwillingness to believe Steve Rogers that he was worthy and capable of carrying the shield and that he should be willing to capable, there's no question. It showed it right in the show. Multiple people lost their lives because of Sam Wilson's delay and hesitancy, right? But the show's like, that's okay. It's totally okay for people to take their time, even if it's going to cost lives, right? David Walker, I was like, wow, this guy looks like a villain. There's one point where he uses Captain America's shield to literally beat someone to death. I was like, whoa, that's pretty strong, right? Just one episode later, he is suited up again, and he's working with Winter Soldier, and Winter Soldier's like, hey, thanks for the help. We're all good. I was like, whoa, who's the hero? Who is the villain? There is the leader of the Flag Smashers. Clearly uses, very, very clearly uses violence to at the cost of lives to accomplish her political goals. I'm like, wow. In the old days, people would say that's really wrong. Disney Plus shows putting forth says, nah, it's not that simple. Like, can't just put a label of terrorism on that, right? Can't just put a label of thug on that, and really ask you to question, to very carefully say, hey, maybe everybody here can be someone's hero and someone's villain. I have never seen a stronger example of modern storytelling. You can't tell the heroes, you can't tell the villains from anybody, right? And that's new. I've never seen that before, right? But I will say, I think every Dungeon Master today, you are dealing with players who absolutely have this new type of spectrum of what is good and what is bad, right? And the reality is, when everybody has their own truth, it's whatever you choose, right? And nothing I have ever seen does a better job of showing how a high-level magic item passes from one capable adventurer to another, and really also exploring, like, if somebody is willing and capable but not worthy, is it a bad thing for them to just pick up and take that item, right? And also, if there's an adventurer and they don't think that they're worthy, this show shows clearly they could take their time deciding that, but people are going to lose their lives in the interim, right? And I couldn't believe it. I think this show was really saying, hey, that's okay. Everybody gets to make their own choices. And if if people are going to lose their lives to get there, we as modern viewers need to really just take a look and see, maybe somebody's hesitance means that other people don't get to live. Which I'm like, wow, I have never seen more deep subjects explored on a Disney Plus show. Like, there's nothing like this show. You've definitely got to take it a look. When it comes to alignment, morality, and questions of adventurers picking up incredibly powerful items, you're not going to see something more interesting than this. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. How do you think we as Dungeon Masters are going to kind of project stories that will have this type of variance and allowing people to choose who they think are the heroes and the villains? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.